and I am still kind of reading the last few bits of it. But it's all pretty much the same. And this is Wheel of the Year, Myth and Magic Through the Seasons by Teresa Morey and Jane Brideson. And this I found at my local thrift shop for $2, I think it was. So I'm very happy when I can find books like this in my thrift store, because we're kind of in the middle of nowhere, Screwsville. So it's hard to find things like this, even though I've managed to find a couple of things over the course of the year. So it's like, and apparently this was a birthday present to somebody named Pam from July 1999. So this is about the Wheel of the Year. And I've tabbed which the for the holidays for easy reference. And it is written by British people, so it's kind of focusing on like the location of England and what's in and around England. And it's not really, and it's spelt of course in like British English and stuff like that, and there's sort of, that when you're reading in American, it's kind of like, okay, that's kind of weird, but no, it's right, but just strangely. But it does account for the southern hemisphere, and mentions Australia, and it does account and switch things and sort of includes them too, which is kind of cool. So it's nothing that everybody can have a part of, because it does sort of, include everybody. So it's the northern hemisphere, the southern hemisphere. Even though it's centered in sort of Britain, you can still carry it over to wherever you are. And the artwork is actually pretty neat, because every Sabbath has its own sort of little icon, and it's fairly nice detailed, even though it's in black and white. And it does sort of break up the sort of, monotony of the text, as it were. And it does start at Samhain. Each chapter starts with like a really neat kind of quote. At least it did. Well, maybe not a quote quite so much. Well, the quote actually comes at the end, and then your chapter starts with like a poem. And this is for Yule. At the time at the time I have filmed this, Yule has just passed and Imbolc is coming up. So it does go. It gives you the date, 22nd December, for the northern hemisphere, and it goes 22nd June in the southern hemisphere. And this poem is Dream Time, cradled in a hollow oak, in oaken arms strong to hold. She sleeps, and from her dreaming brow the shapes of things do come unfold. Now come the animals, pig, sheep, goat, the animals come and gather round. Deer, cow, rabbit, badger, mouse, and cat and squirrel, fox and hound. All waiting in the darkened grove, dark grove under earth's the history. Shifting hooves and steaming coat, bright eyes reflect the mystery. She dreams on, as she dreams the sun, bright-fingered sun begins to rise, reaching through the oaken grove, brilliant in expectant eyes. The animals now stamp and snort, snorting, squeaking, mewing, lowing. Through their sounds and through the grove, a baby silver cry echoing. Her newborn son she cradles now, cradles wakens in the dream, and cradled in oaken arms above, the newborn sun is seen to gleam. And that's for Yule. And the cool thing too is that it includes Christianity, as far as, basing. It doesn't talk down about Christianity or other religions. It sort of includes the fact that they've taken different aspects of paganism and built upon that. And same with like other religions, that it's sort of all interconnected, and there's different pieces that you can sort of pick and choose from, and that's what they've done. So it's not done in a condescending way. It's like, well, this is the fact, and this is what happened, and it's all cool. And each chapter is set up where you have your poem. It goes through sort of the basics of the characteristics of the holiday, the different sort of things that are known in the holiday, like they talk about the Christmas tree, the colors. They call Santa Claus Father Christmas, because that's what it's called in England. We call him Santa Claus. The Oak King and the Holly King. Different traditions. Like I didn't realize what wassailing was. The god and goddesses pertaining to that. Then it goes into like a little more depth of that particular holiday. And then you have an actual craft, where for Yule you can make a pendulum. So each Sabbath will have a particular task you can do, a craft you can make, which is really cool. Then it goes into like the star signs. And I always thought, well, being a Gemini, but my birthday's like at the end of May, so technically I'm not Beltane, I'm the next one. And I keep forgetting. What comes after Beltane? Litha. See, Litha, Lunasun, Mabon are the ones I kind of forget because they're kind of mixed. So I'm kind of more towards the Litha way. So Sagittarius and Capricorn are kind of in amongst Yule, where I'm Cancer and Gemini. Then you have a visualization that sort of focuses on the nugget of that particular Esbit, or Sabbath, I should say. And then it goes into a chakra, and it focuses on the chakra starting from the bottom up, and it sort of has a visualization and an incense and oils. And thoughts for Yule is the quote. When you possess a light within, you see it externally, by Anais Nin. So there is a buttload of information here. I'm surprised how much they've packed into this little bitty book. And it starts out, what's the Wheel of the Year, the 8 festivals, this, the Southern Hemisphere and how that impacts the Wheel of the Year. It's awesome. If you want to know, different things you can do for the different Sabbats, things you can make, the colors, it's just such a helpful go-to book. And there's even some recipes and stuff. I think each Sabbat has its own thing you can make. Yep, pancakes would be for Yule. So there's baked Alaska. There's a few things. No, that's not Yule. That's for Imbolc. So there is so much information here. It does sort of have a few things where it might be harder to find stuff, and you might have the need to have a certain set of skills to maybe make some things or the recipes, but I'm sure you can like improvise or just it's just a fun read and into that. So I've loved this. I was like, sweet. I didn't even like bother look. I just saw Wheel of the Year and picked it up and bought it. So I'm like, oh, score. So very happy with this book. And I don't. Let's see here. Published 97. Last print was 2000. I don't know quite how much it would have been originally. There's no particular price tag, but you might be able to find it on Amazon. And it is The Wheel of the Year, Myth and Magic Through the Seasons by Teresa Mori and Jane Bridson. So I would say a must-have if you follow The Wheel of the Year. It's got a lot of stuff, definitely stuff you can take and easily employ into your practice, which I plan on doing. So thank you for watching. Do remember to comment, rate, share, and subscribe. And blessed be.